Welcome, folks, to the 24th of January 2025. It is Saturday morning. We're on our way down to see some, yeah, that too. We're going to see some old homes as we travel along. On our way down to see some then and nows. Couple of locations. Very cold out. Remind you of cold cuts. Now we're gonna see where millions of cold cuts are made. How you like the sun here reflecting off the chimneys? Smoke. Back in the day, this used to be coal-fired. Many of these homes were coal-fired. And you can imagine the color of the smoke. Today it's a little different. Electric or gas. This place is quite a gas, isn't it? That is the Wood Upjohn home. All right. A large 6-story building, if you include the basement, ground layer, or ground floor. The Marlboro residence, the Marlboro building. They're on the right back. Let's notice this is a pretty good view, this angle of the large heavy lift cranes down there at the arena site, the downtown event center. Overlooking the parking right here for the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts. We are going to be coming here in just 2 weeks and doing a little video from right inside this building. You're going to find out a little bit about Dale Chihuly. That's one of his artworks, his glass works right there. And a whole lot of other cool things in here. We're going to have a good time in that then and now. It's not going to be a then and now, though. On this site, back in the day, there were a couple of mansions stood. I might do a then and now when we come here to the Art Institute and then work those in on it. All right, blue bonnet. We'll be right back. Yes, there's a hot G up there. That's the very famous Gilmore G for the Jim Gilmore companies. They still have offices down here in Kalamazoo. Very famous family, the Gilmore family. Gilmore's department store, Uncle Irving Gilmore, Jim Gilmore, mayor of Kalamazoo and entrepreneur. Jim Gilmore Cadillac Pontiac here in Kalamazoo. That whole area, his whole area where his car dealership was and his lots and so forth, is now the property that the new event center is being built on. That whole corner and everything down to where the Whitley Funeral Home was. The whole deal there was all Jim Gilmore. Sponsor of AJ Foyt, Indy 500, 4-time sponsor of the champion. Yep, he used to have one of AJ's cars hanging from the ceiling in his display room, his showroom downtown here, Kalamazoo Avenue. Seen it many times. He had a big 12-foot, 4-inch tiger shark that he caught down out of Bud and Mary's in Islamorada, Florida one time. Had that hanging up there too. That thing was a monster. All right, we shall be right back. Yeah, I have to shout out here to the downtown headquarters of the then Upjohn Company. Here on now John Street, then Henrietta. And we're going to be looking right straight to the east over the Bronson Hospital complex. This all used to be Bronson when I was a boy, but that large building that you see straight ahead with the chimney, okay, that used to be the Harding School right there. That was an elementary school. I think they may have had middle elementary in that same building. It's been repurposed over the years. I may include a photo of that since we're passing here then and now. Here's the new Bronson complex over here, built on my old neighborhood. This is now all the Heart Center. Advanced cardiac healthcare. Right here is the hyperbaric chamber next to the helicopter hangar. Right there. On this corner used to be two beautiful wood frame homes. The proverbial little old lady lived right here, a 2-story wood frame home on this corner. Beautiful yard and gardens. And it was bought, raised, made into that little park-like area, and the helicopter landing pad and everything built. All right, be right back. Well, right up here is a doorway that many people don't know about. We're here on the back side of the school, as it were, and we'll again do this a little then and now. Get a shot the other direction, but and you can see the school right back here on the top of the building, right behind the original chimney right there, and their powerhouse is all the school. Well, right along here you see there's some loading docks and so forth. If you pass away here in this hospital, here's where the funeral home or those that you arrange to come and pick you up, this is where they back in right here. They back right up to that door. That's the final door, the final curtain. Of course, we're on Jasper Street, coming up here on Lovell. Straight ahead is the Homer Stryker School of Medicine, Western Michigan University. This all used to be the downtown Upjohn manufacturing facility. The large multi-story concentrate building was built right here. All gone now, of course. All right, we shall be right back. Right there is my mother's big tree. Largest red oak in the state of Michigan, or at least the county of Kalamazoo, I think. I'll include some proof of that, some documentation. Right there she stands. All right, corner of East Walnut and John Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Largest red oak. This is the emergency and trauma area of Bronson Medical Center, right across the street from the helicopter landing pad. And over here, corner of Jasper and Walnut, Kalamazoo Valley Community College. This is their culinary and allied healths. You want to learn how to be a nutritionist above and beyond, go to school there. It's an excellent school. You can see the steam coming off the creek down here. It is cold. I promised cold cuts right up here. See these open truck bays? You can't count the hot dogs and sausage that came out of here. Pickle and pimento loaf. This, my friends, is Eckrich. This was Eckrich Meats here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Take a little drive around the factory. It's now a cold storage location. It really is. We're going to take a little look over here. There is a cold Challenger right there on my Mopar friends. There is one cold little Challenger parked right up in there. Yeah, here you go, the Kalamazoo Eckrich plant. It's the second plant that Peter Eckrich built. I'll have pictures, I'm going to insert it here, but Mr. Eckrich himself on the floor in a white jacket, checking out his links. The smokehouse in here was something else. We're going to talk about that in just a second. All right. Right here on the tracks of South Pitcher and East Walnut. Railroad was instrumental here in the business. And you can see close proximity. Very cool. Sounds like we might even have a train coming. That'll be special. Let's go down here and check this out. Go around the block. Now we're on 2nd Street. Back in the day, this was 3rd Street that the Kalamazoo Sled Company was on. That's just a block and a half away. And here, you can see the main entrance, as it were, to Eckrich. Look at the old wooden warehouses here alongside the tracks. Now the steel here, the green siding's new, but the rest, all the old locker wood from back in the day. All right, let's go up here and get another angle of the dangle on the main facility right here. I will be right back. Check out the architecture here of the home right across the street from the plant. Very, very cool. The diamond windows, the square windows, probably going up a stairway. All right, right back. Right here on the corner of Portage was very famous Perry Harley Davidson here in Kalamazoo back in the day. They moved to another location, a brand new location, out on Sprinkle Road, and it's no longer there either. The Perrys are retired. Right next door, we have the second factory of Eckrich Meats. Peter Eckrich, a German sausage maker and smoker. And right here, the front door of Peter's second operation. And we'll talk about dates and everything here as we come up. Look at the moniker here above the door. Eckrich quality. All right, gotta love the glass block. Another little entrance right here. Looks like a small loading dock as well. And this back part of the factory. This back door right here. People in and out there. I don't see any aliens. It's daylight, my flashlight works. I'm going to take a look at the smokestacks back here for the smoker, the smokehouse. We only lived 5 blocks away, and when the wind was just right, we could smell Eckrich. Several of our neighbors worked here. They could walk to work, and right there you have them. You see the 2 black stacks? Those are the smokestacks for the smokehouse. Pretty cool. Right here on the railroad. And again, the smokestacks. Very cool. as we proceed back along the building, a heavy machinery handling area right there. Another entry door. You can see a fire alarm. See the red bell right there, the red ringer? All right, those are fire alarms. If there was a fire in here, those would sound off and alert the neighbors. Anyone, in the neighborhood, they know, oh boy, the fire alarms are going off. And of course, the police would respond and so forth. There's another one right there. All right. Yep, there you go. Right back. Just a block away is the downtown shooting range. There's the backstop back there. You see that angular rear part of the building? It's a big steel and wooden plate all inside there, and it's where they hang the targets at that end, and there's the shooting range right there. Still active, big club down here. I like to come out there and shoot. Be right back. Well, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Eckrich and the plant that sits right over here, right behind, in kitty corner, behind old Hoekstra Hardware. And you can see the top of the plant right over the headlights of that car parked there. Loading dock and everything for old Eckrich. Well, let's talk about this. Well, Peter Eckrich, I mentioned, he was a German from der Deutschland and der Hinterlands in Deutschland, where he learned to make sausage and meats, to prepare them, and it was an old family heritage. Moving to this country, he of course brought that with him, and raised a family. That's why it's Peter Eckrich and Sons. Started his company in 1894 down in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and that was quite an operation. I'm going to be inserting photographs of these places, of course, then and now as well. His second plant was here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, at 631 through 645 2nd Street. Okay, we just seen that. And of course in Portage, it was known as the Center for Fine Meat Specialties. And it was when I was a kid too. They just didn't make bacon in there. We'll put the rack used to be at the grocery store. It was all Eckrich. And then there was some Herod on the end. And I believe Farmer Pete. And I think, if my mind serves me well, that back in the day, Meyer grocery stores bought Farmer Pete and has that operation making all their house brand cuts. But now that was probably 25 years ago, so things may have changed. Anyways, this is what they did in the plant here. By 1932, okay, the Eckrich brand and their products were nationally known throughout the whole United States, and I have to mention Canada too, okay, and they were known as being supreme quality, okay. Now it remained in the Eckrich family hands, the Eckrich boys, till 1972. Okay, all the way to 72. Right? It was purchased by Beatrice Foods. Remained here in Kalamazoo. Then Smithfield acquired Beatrice in 2006, along with the Eckrich brand and so forth. And all indicators point that Smithfield still owns Eckrich to this day. Now, you've heard of their smoked sausage, their smoky links. Those are very famous, the Eckrich smoky links and so forth. Everybody keyed off from them. They were Me Too pretty much throughout the United States. Oh, we have these little smokies. Oh, we got this. There's a nice little smoked breakfast sausage. Pretty much came out of Eckrich. Their ideas and so forth. There were some others. These guys didn't have the whole banana roll, but they had a big share of it. Kind of like Fender and Gibson type of thing, and then you throw Gretsch in there. right? We took tours of this factory over here. We'll drive past there again. Take a little ride here. Back when I was in grade school, it was really, really cool because the tours that we would get, field trips they called them, go to the Kellogg Bird Sanctuary, we go to the Kellogg Forest, we would go to Kellogg's proper in Battle Creek and tour the whole plant, watch them making corn flakes and everything else. You can't do that anymore. All right, got a tour of the General Motors plant here in Kalamazoo, the big GM plant, the BOC, Buick, Cadillac, Oldsmobile, the door plant. Yep. We never got a tour of the Harley Davidson dealership here, but we did come down, and the school bus did pull up right here in front where we were just a minute ago. The bus was heading, of course, its opposite direction, and all the kids right inside here. And you get the tour of the whole place. Back in the day, that was the middle and late 60s. I was in here 3 times. 3 times. But when we got to tour the Kellogg factory in Battle Creek, I was there twice. At the end, they gave you one of those 8-pack variety deals. You get little boxes of cereal, little 8-pack variety packs. Each kid got one of those. When we came through the tour of Eckrich, all the kids got a pack of Smoky Links. Pretty cool. Drive down here around the neighborhood here a little bit. Several of our neighbors worked back there at the factory, and they would come home with boxes of meat product. They could get so much per week, and they would bring hot dogs and sausage, and sometimes stop by and drop off a little at the house. This used to be a electric contractor's building right here back in the day. I want to say it was Close Electric, but don't quote me on that. It may be spelled with a K. I know that, the Close family, but I think that was Close. You can see the icicles forming along here. Of course, this wasn't here in the day, and I don't know the history of this property, but I'm sure I could find some something out about it and do a then and now. Right over here is Eckrich, and we will end as I cross the tracks. Here, no, I'm on my side of the tracks. Excuse me, might you have some Grey Poupon? There you go. Put some Poupon on that. Thanks for watching. Good old Eckrich from back in the day. We'll see you all in the next one. Please stay safe and warm out there. Woo! This does have some history. This may be my next then and now. This part of the building anyway. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. Thanks again for watching. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up button, notification bell, and subscribe to Fast Eddie's Adventures. I sure appreciate it. See you in the next one. And I will reiterate, please stay safe and warm.